Yo, guys, welcome back to the Blue Podcast. And firstly, Merry Christmas to the 20 of you that are probably watching this. How you doing, Ben, firstly, as my co-host? And Merry Christmas to you.
Good, thanks. Merry Christmas.
And as you can see, we've actually got a bit of a panel today. Two of them you might recognise. One of them was a co-founder from the start. His name's Kieran. How you doing, mate?
Not too bad.
And then Conor, who's over in America, currently at work and doing a bit of a shift for us by joining us today. Who you might have seen on, I'm going to forget the shows you've been on, mate. The Red Show, the Red, White and Blue Show. That's it right now, isn't it?
That's about it, yeah. At this point, I think you're thinking of the fact that I'm developing a couple shows once we get back going, but
yeah, once we get back going, maybe they'll trickle in. But how you doing, mate?
Doing all right. It's the last day before the office closes for the hall, so my day is pretty much done. I'm going home after we finish the stream, so I'm doing good.
Brilliant. And now there's a new fresh face on the podcast. His name's Joe. He's my right winger at uni, and he's not bad. Anyway, how you doing, mate?
I'm very good, thank you. It's an honour to be let onto the podcast for the first time. So
he's getting 20 lots with all the plants around.
There we go. Yeah, exactly. I'm just zen at the minute. Really zen.
You're gonna have the waterfall trickling in the background.
Yeah. Also, just so you guys know for the future, because obviously, I mean, Kieran's City fan, Ben's City fan. We all know that. Connor's a United fan. We've done that before. Unfortunately, Joe is a Liverpool fan. Just for future reference, when things start to kick off during this podcast, when it gets a little bit heated with some of the questions I have to ask. What's everyone doing for Christmas? Obviously, this is coming out on Christmas Day at 6 p.m. Anyone got any specific plans for Christmas?
Nah.
I'm at my
Off to a
sister's.
church service tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas church service tonight, and then spending it with family. That's pretty much it. My parents are down, so
That's nice. Unfortunately, churches in my area have actually closed because of COVID. So
yeah, ours didn't give a shit. even during like prime COVID, they're like, yeah, we don't care. We're staying open.
That's fair. That's like football over here as well. It's like everything else is closing, but you can still go to a football game.
I live in the one county in all of California where literally just nobody cared. We had a couple things closed down, and then that was pretty much it.
Fair.
Well, yeah, I mean, me and Kieran's Swansea plans have been cancelled because me and Kieran was thinking of coming out of Swansea, and the clubs are closed.
Not fun.
Yeah.
Great. Clubs are closed. There's now 6 person to a table and 3 households. So, I mean, me and Joe's Reds socials after Christmas are going to be really fun. Yeah. Really fun. Really fun. All right, should we just get into the quiz? Get things started, get the ball rolling. Only 3 minutes in. I will read out your answers as we go. And then tell you who is smart and who's not. Some of them are multiple choice, some of them are not. Obviously, if you're watching, do play along as well. Let us know how you do in the comments. Even put your answers in the comments whilst you're watching. I mean, that's a crazy idea. Haven't thought of that one before. Question 1. 2 players have scored Premier League penalties with both feet. Name one out of the following. Cristiano Ronaldo, Bobby Zamora, Obafemi Martins, Papis Cisse. And just for reference for the people watching there, put them in the private chat, and then I'll be reading them out for you. So,
some agreements, some disagreements.
We got some interesting ones. Now, this was a bit of an easy question because actually 2 of the people I not mentioned have scored penalties with both feet.
All right. So
who's the one bloke who fucked it?
So one of you, or even 2 of you, might have got it wrong.
No chance, mate.
So first off, Connor put Cisse, Kez put Cisse, Joe put Zamora, and Ben put Martins. And the answer is Bobby Zamora and Obafemi.
Of course he did. Bobby. Oh, you can't rule him out.
I remember Cisse, not Cisse, Martin's being like a bit of a flamboyant geezer, so I thought he might like do something a bit different.
Flamboyant geezer, also code name for an absolute twat to play against.
All these questions are completely made up by me as well. I like had to like go through and find like weird stats, and I was just trying to think like to figure out who would fit into that 4 that could be possible. Like it was very, very difficult. I put Ronaldo in just as who knows he might have done, and then Cisse because I was trying to think of like who's someone who just scored outrageous goals.
Yeah,
So
like
that's why I put Cisse.
he wasn't known for being class, but he had some ridiculous highlights.
Yeah, like his highlights were mental. So that's why I played it well there, boys. I played it well. Question number 2 is a true or false. Ryan Giggs has been subbed more than any other player. True or false?
I've read this before, I think.
Well, that's cheating.
What do you mean I've heard it? Do you mean? I can't have heard it.
We also might be lying. All right, so we've had a true from Connor, a true from Ben, a false from Joe, and a false from Kez. And I can reveal that the answer is true. I think it was like 137 times or 147 times.
I'm not surprised because of how long you played.
Yeah.
When you played that long and you play in a position like winger where you see a lot of substitutions often being the wingers. Just makes sense.
Tell me about it.
He's like, where do I put at my uni coach here?
Yeah.
At least you play more than me. It's fine.
Yeah.
At uni coach, piss off. Stop taking
what I'm saying is I've scored the same amount of goals as Joe this season.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, wingers aren't supposed to score a ton of goals, though. I mean, Salah's an exception.
Yeah. That's my excuse. No,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
he's a creator.
He's got quite a few assists. I will give you that.
He's a creator.
I put you up front for 1 or 2 games last year. You still didn't score.
Yeah, but it's all about that hold-up play. I'm like Adebayor. It's like Adebayor up there, mate.
I was going to be like, don't stay from me now.
Kieran, you'll love this. You want me to say this, Joe, about SPR, about how your only goal was against SPR and they were the other team that you possibly were going to sign for.
Yeah,
and then
it was.
At least he didn't do a Reece who against was it Crayola ran away from the celebrating crowd towards their substitutes and knee slid in front of them.
Adebayor.
Yeah, the Adebayor reminded me of that because he literally.
That's one of the great things about being a keeper is I would never be able to get away with something like that for like a penalty, like a PK save. I've done some stupid shit as a goalie, like after PK saves and like big saves. Never something that outlandish. I think the most I've done is DX. I did a DX chop at the dude who took a PK and just basically told him to do one. So he's been chatting shit the whole entire game in my ear.
He's the goalkeeper that goes off celebrating and the ball just goes into the net.
That's the thing is I watched that one time and I had a game like 3 days later for Sunday League and I had a PK and that happened where like the ball went straight up in the air and I literally like got up and I looked and I saw the ball and I was like it's like no chance and I punched the ball as hard as I could and I hit it behind the goal up and over the fence and onto the street and I was like, oh, that was slightly successful.
Lost the ball in the process, but I mean that's underneath you.
I was like, yeah, it wasn't my ball. I didn't have to pay for it. We got it back, so it was successful for the most part.
I mean, we've lost 3 balls now, Joe. Is it with
yeah,
that's great.
It's because of Ben's shots, huh? Ben Ankit shots.
Ben, Adam, and Pat. It's all Ben, Adam, and Pat.
No, not you.
Not agreed. I'll talk goals.
Ben's are just as bad anyway.
What do you mean?
No, it's fine. He normally falls over before he even gets close to the goal nowadays. Anyway.
Yeah, he does spend most of the time on the floor.
No. Not having this. I'm not having this.
That's reminded me of a future question, actually. I'm going to add that in. Give me a second. I had a question like that earlier, and I've now slightly changed it because of that. Anyway, question 3. How many assists did Balotelli get in the Prem winning 2012 season?
Every time I think about Balotelli, all I think of is a freaking MLS versus City game where he just absolutely just
all right,
the most stupid thing I've ever seen.
Mancini went sick at him and he was like,
I had
"Get off,"
I had a buddy at that game, and you
Right.
can actually hear Mancini like literally calling him a stupid twat. As he passed, as he was on the bench, he literally they got into an argument. He's like, "You stupid twat! Why'd you do that? There's a reason I benched you. Don't do it again."
Balotelli's like, funny.
Yeah, but he's actually had a pretty good resurgence for his career a little bit over in Italy.
Yeah, he's now is he in Turkey's top league now or something like?
Let's see. Where are you at, you stupid miserable piece of crap? Oh yeah, he's at Adana Demirspor.
Right, yeah, he's in the Turkish Super League or whatever, isn't he?
Let's see how good he's actually doing. He's valued at 2.2 million.
Jeez.
2.3 million. What a fall from grace.
I mean, that's more than me. And
I mean, he's actually done. To be fair, his stats are full of Balotelli as well.
Speak for yourself, Ben.
17 games. He's on 6 goals and 2 assists, but he's also got 7 yellows.
7 yellows.
Oh, have you seen Ramos? He's played in his first Liga game. He's been sent off.
Yeah, he got a yellow and a red within 6 minutes.
Yeah, classic.
Yeah. Anyway, do you guys want the answer?
Yeah.
It's 1, and I'm gonna give one person a bonus point if the first person to tell me who he assisted in what game will get a bonus point.
Aguero in the QPR game.
Aguero.
He's done it.
Fucking City fan. Fucking City fan.
You see in the chat. Oh, no, you know what? Okay, I'll allow that.
The thing is, I'm a United fan. I could guess easily that it was Aguero because who else would be scoring the goals besides Balotelli that season?
It's the classic thing, when some pundits are talking about it. Yeah, did you know, talking about the Aguero, it's like I was cracking into the game. Did you know that was his only assist? And you're like, whoa, every time you're like, I've not heard that before.
I thought I put a relevant to City thing in. Now we got 2 City fans.
Oh yeah, no, it's fine. It's it's all right question, but it's just when the pundits always talk about it, it's always the thing they come up with. It's like, right, okay.
Yeah. Well, Joe, what were you typing? I saw you typing.
I was just going to put Aguero QPR as well.
Oh. All right. Okay. For future reference, I will say bonus points. Just shout them out.
Right. Yeah.
I'll just shout them out. That bended. Okay. That's my bad. That is my bad.
Classic City fan, really.
Classic City fan, just shouting everybody else down.
Yeah.
All right. Question numero 4. Who has missed the most Premier League penalties? Is it Frankie Lampard, Alan Shearer, Sergio Aguero, or Harry Kane with his lisp? That was a really bad lisp.
That was awful.
I was trying to be funny.
Yeah.
This is actually. I wouldn't know this, to be fair. Personally.
Oh yeah, this one stumped me.
I was stuck between the two.
I think Lampard's taken the most, so I think he probably would have missed the most.
I know he missed quite a lot.
Well, Harry Kane doesn't
Shearer.
miss that often from the penalty spot as well. He's pretty efficient from the penalty spot. He's not efficient pretty much anywhere else, but from the penalty spot at least he's efficient.
He is.
I'd go with someone else just to.
I'm not sure on Shearer, but
the answer is the fact that Ben has still got every single question right. Ben with Alan Shearer, the rest put Frankie Lampard. Shearer has missed the most penalties while scoring the most penalties in the Premier League.
Yeah, and Lampard
talk about a stat pad. We talking Bruno stat pad with penalties. Holy shit, Shearer.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, boys, is Ben is on 5 points out of 4 questions somehow.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's a host for a football podcast. Sorry, I need alcohol. It's Christmas. Question 5. Which team has won the most points in a single season from going behind? Is it Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, or Newcastle?
Oh shit, I was waiting for United to be mentioned.
Which team has won the most points from going behind?
What are the four? What are the four? Is that this season or just period?
It's just period. Like in the Premier League, which team has won the most points from going behind in a single
Arsenal,
season?
Newcastle.
Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, Newcastle. This is not total. This is just in one season.
In one season. Oh.
Arsenal, Chelsea, Everton, Newcastle. The questions will be getting harder, as I'm sure you've noticed.
Yeah. Oh, I don't like this one.
I have a reasoning for my guess, but I have a feeling that I'm wrong and that Ben's probably going to get it right for the fourth time in a row somehow.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Everton.
All right, we got our answers in. Connor with Arsenal, Joe with Arsenal, Ben with Everton, Kieran with Chelsea. And guess what? None of you got it right. It was Newcastle.
Oh, it's between Newcastle and Everton as well.
It was Newcastle. And I put in Everton to throw off everyone from Newcastle because I thought, Everton had been in the Premier League, not been relegated.
Yeah.
I put a spanner in the works. And it worked out. So
Everton's more draws than
I think I'm more happy that Ben finally got one wrong than I'm happy that I'm upset that I missed
got
it.
a question wrong. Yeah, but the issue is, boys, Ben got a question wrong, whilst all of you also got a question wrong.
Yeah, but at least he's human.
Yeah, at least he wasn't with me whilst writing these questions.
No.
I'm not joking. I'm joking.
Just like Klopp, I'll call for a conspiracy theory.
Yeah, well, apparently, according to Ben, I'm a corrupt person according to the Twitter predictions.
Yeah.
What do Tom and the FIA have in common?
Yeah, exactly.
We both run our businesses by a dictatorship.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I try and give you guys more stuff to do, but you just don't fucking do it. So it's not my fault.
Oh wait, y'all have been the ones who have been in fucking uni. I've been down to do stuff that y'all are all too busy to do it.
Okay, yeah, anyway. Question 6. Which team has been top and relegated in the same season out of these 4 teams? Is it Newcastle, Hull, West Brom, Aston Villa? Is it Newcastle, Hull, West Brom, Aston Villa? I love how Kieran's fingers go across the camera. Oh, and he's gone! Oh no!
He emphatically answered the question and then was like, "All right, piss off."
He's probably found a movie and he thought, "Sack this off."
Yeah.
He found a Middle Eastern site to watch the Spider-Man movie.
Whilst we're waiting for Kieran, I will say this is coming out 6 p.m. on Christmas Day. So technically, the challenge that I've set everyone is still on, isn't it, Ben? Do you want to say the challenge for me because you're picking the song?
Well, he said he would sing a Christmas song if he got 900 by Christmas Day, which was never going to happen. So, yeah. But
we're on 886 currently whilst recording this.
He said he was going to extend it to New Year. So
no, I didn't. That was you. I did not.
I think I did. I think I remember seeing that in the chat.
I never said this.
Yeah, no.
I could have sworn he said that in the chat.
Yeah.
No, I never said New Year's. I said by the end.
I could have sworn group chat you said that, man.
He's backing out a bit now.
Nah. The Twitter and Instagram post said by the end of Christmas Day.
Oh, he's doing the classic
Christmas Day, Benjamin.
He's doing the classic.
Which is only 14 more from this point. So you guys could make 14 fake accounts and we'd hit it. If you want me to sing a song by the end of Christmas Day, I'll do it on if it's at 12 o'clock. I'll do it
I've run out of emails, Tom. I can't do anymore.
So am I, to be fair.
That's funny. My dad's. I did my favorite person of the whole thing where it's the favorite person of everybody who supports the different teams and you tag them on Twitter. I did mine, and my dad's just texted me pissed off. He's like, "I'm a little insulted. I wasn't your favorite Spurs person." I'm like, "Well, you don't have a fucking Twitter, Dad." So.
Fair enough.
First of all, he has a Twitter, but I'm just like, fuck, what am I supposed to say? This random person who doesn't show his actual name. Like, yeah, this random person who's got like no followers is my favorite Twitter. I gotta explain. Yeah, that's my dad.
Anyway, all of you put Villa, and you're all fucking wrong. It's Hull.
Oh,
That's a fucking lie, mate. You just lied.
Make it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. It's not. But you know,
You're making it up. You're just taking the piss here.
Taking us as mugs, mate.
Yeah, but Ben, if I was making it up, you'd be getting none of the answers right.
No. It's a technicality, that.
Ben, you know, if I was making it up, you'd be getting none of the answers.
Technicality.
Penultimate question, boys. Question number 7. Which player has scored a hat-trick of headers? Hat-trick of headers.
What was that instruction?
Why are you so into that? I really like a header, I do. There's 3 of them. What the hell?
Not 1, not 2, but 3.
I just like 3 heads. Anyway,
Brilliant.
which player has scored a hat-trick of headers? Is it Callum Wilson, Peter Crouch, Diogo Jota, or Salomon Rondon?
Okay, come on. If it's not the big lanky fuck, then I'm gonna be absolutely pissed. But yeah, I'm gonna fuck it. I know I'm the only one who's not said the person who probably it is, but
All right, for the watchers/listeners, Joe's put Rondon, Ben's put Rondon, Kieran's put Rondon, Connor's put Peter Crouch, and yeah, the 3 that put Rondon got it completely and absolutely correct.
yeah, I thought so. I just fucking love Crouch, so I was like, fuck it, why not? Gotta show my
more into
American,
bicycle kicks or doing a backflip or something.
I gotta show
He's done
my
everything.
American level of knowledge here.
I'm just getting the bonus question up quickly.
All right.
You imagine Crouch in the
Ben pays
Liverpool
me
side
£5
with Trent and Robertson on the as
I'm
wingers.
trying to find the game.
I'll tell you, mate.
Shh! Don't look it up. I'm watching.
No,
I'm watching.
I'm not. I just know it.
Go on.
It was Hull, wasn't it?
Hang on a second.
What, this Rondon game thing?
Can anyone else name someone else who scored a hat-trick of headers?
Messi.
Nope.
Is it in the Prem?
Oh, okay. I'll just keep. You can keep firing it out. It's not Hull. Keep it firing out.
Yeah, I know. I was just lying. I remember.
It was for West Brom.
It was for West Brom
Sunderland.
against.
Oh, is this the bonus question?
This is the bonus question. Who did he score the hat-trick against?
Swansea.
Sunderland.
Correct.
Wait, who?
Swansea.
Yeah,
Swansea.
Oh yeah. I told you I knew it, mate.
It's all right. You can close that tab down now, Jim.
Hey, look, my hands have been here the whole time.
Someone on this panel sent me £5 to throw it. Just saying that now.
I'm just a big Swansea City fan now, so I just know all their history.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've also realised a slight issue with me having drinking a lot of alcohol is I need a wee now. But we'll finish off. We've got the last question before I go, and then you guys can chat to yourselves. Which player had more corners than shots in the Premier League? So we're talking a proper flop here, aren't we, boys? Which player has more corners than shots in the Premier League?
Is it Saul?
No. Iago Aspas, Andriy Shevchenko, Robinho, or Adrian Mutu. Also, 2 Chelsea players in there, by the way. Not that I'm going to try and throw you off by saying that, but there are 2 Chelsea players in there because they both absolutely flopped. And Robinho, I mean, he didn't flop necessarily, but, you know, I mean, he didn't do great. And then, Iago Aspas was shit for them. So, I mean, yeah, it's up to you, boys. Who you putting?
You've already put it.
Yeah, I've realised, and you've all put the right answer.
It's because he's the one who was like he's like 5'7", isn't he? So he's not going to get in for a corner, is he? He's going to go and save it.
I mean, I don't know.
I remember one corner. I think it was like on his debut, and it was just one of those
none
ones
of
where
these guys are cool though.
he hits it and it just doesn't enter the pitch. It just stays out, and you're thinking at the Premier League level, you're like, what are you doing? Like, just who have we just signed? Who have we just signed for 20 million or whatever it was? And you can't take a corner.
Wait, because you're looking for it, so yeah, you don't know. All right, let's get the final results.
Come on then, like the suspense is killing us.
Calm down.
The suspense is killing us here.
It's a close one.
No, it's not.
And there's 1 point between all four.
There's 1 point between first and second.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2 points. But 2 points between first and second.
This is exhilarating.
Yeah.
We're supposed to speak.
Who's getting?
I tell you what,
Enjoy last place.
it's keeping the viewers up.
Bro, I swear, I'm just not paying attention because I know I fucking lost. So
Yeah, enjoy last place is Kieran and Connor.
yep. Cheers.
Join. Oh, get in. Third. I'll take it.
3 points. We got 3 points out of 8. I'm actually out of a possible 10, but that's fine.
Hey, I did say Aguero, and I done the commentary one.
But you said it too late. Anyway,
Yeah, but I done the commentary.
drum roll, please.
No, thanks.
Just say it, mate.
Just here.
Final question. 4 points.
And then Ben.
Make it interesting.
Ben with 7 points to win it.
Lovely.
Who's surprised? Who's surprised?
Are you going for your was then?
Yeah, no, I've been really holding it.
Right.
Chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah. So who's getting fourth spot then? Out of Arsenal. Who's getting fourth out of Arsenal, West Ham, United, and Tottenham?
Well, United's going to get
That's a topic for later, Ben. Shut up.
Well, it's been a topic now, so
Do not talk
you're
about
going
it.
for a was. You're part of a was. I'm having a was, so it's happening now.
Do you know what's more
I actually
interesting?
think Chelsea are going to drop off.
I also
I think
think
Chelsea's
Chelsea
going
are.
to shit the
I
bed.
genuinely do. But what about relegation? There's about 8 teams there.
Yeah.
Bro, wouldn't it be absolutely legendary if Norwich ended up somehow finding a way to stay up?
I'd hate it.
I
I
mean-
hate them. Like every fibre of
The
me.
thing is,
Hate
I have
them.
a
so
bet with some
dominant
German
when
dude
they
on
go
Norwich
down.
right now.
What's that, kid?
Not a big fan.
But- as soon
I
as
think
they
at
go
the end
down,
of-
they just dominate the championship.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
can't do
they'll just be
anything
right back up.
I think they got more of a chance of staying up with Dean Smith than the other guy, but like,
Yeah,
I mean,
Clark was a fucking waste of space as a manager.
what do you think about Newcastle? Like, then those new owners are not going to want to be in the championship.
They're
Like,
not going to. They're going to spend big in January. Not when I say big, they can't draw huge names, but we're talking like your Martials, your Lingards, like these
Yeah.
people who are like on the ropes of their teams.
Yeah.
They're going to sign them, and those players are too good not to get like the scrappy points who are there to keep them up.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what happened when Lingard went to West Ham.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, he went to West Ham and absolutely balled out. For me, it's going to be Norwich, Watford, and honestly, I think Leeds isn't going to be able to stay up.
Do
Yeah.
you reckon he'll?
It depends. They've had injuries though, haven't they?
Yeah.
If
Do
the
you reckon they'll
injuries,
keep
like
him?
COVID,
Do you reckon they'll keep him as manager if it carries on?
I think they will, just because Bielsa is apparently the golden child of managers, and nothing ever going wrong is ever his fault.
I find it crazy because he like the thing that they always say is that they play like man-to-man marking all the time. So that just means your fullback can get dragged to the other side of the pitch, and then there's loads of space there.
Is this Leeds by any chance?
It's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
I love how, you know what, the thing that's even more funny than the fact that Bielsa's put on this pedestal no matter what he does. I've just been fascinated by the fact that Sean Dyche is still manager for Burnley. Like, it's absolutely incredible that he's had the longevity at Burnley that he's had.
They could go down as well. I'd say Watford, Norwich, they're pretty nailed on to go down.
Right now, it's Norwich. See, the thing is, Norwich is actually not far out of getting out of the drop zone. People think that they're like down and out, but
I don't think
17th
they
to
have the
17th.
quality just compared to the
I
other
don't think
teams
they
in that
will.
area, like
Yeah, I don't think they will.
Watford's-
But right now, it's Southampton on 17 and 15. In 15th, it's Southampton with 17. Leeds in 16th with 16. Watford's in 17th, 13. Burnley 18th on 11, and then Newcastle and Norwich are both tied in on 10 points. But Newcastle's only got a negative 23 goal difference versus Norwich's negative 26.
26.
23 goal difference. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, in terms of like Burnley, they always like Sean Dyche always just seems to like do the job, and it's like, right, cool, whatever. Done.
And I think with the American owners, they're going to start getting players. I mean, they brought in Cornet this season. He's been absolutely fantastic for them. And apparently they're going for more. Apparently they're in the conversation for Trippier, which absolutely flabbergasted. Like, yeah, because apparently it's 15 million. Atletico's only demanding 15.
Yeah, he used to play for them. So.
Does he change? Does he change it though? Like realistically, what does he give that? You know,
I think he gives him a stronger back line. I think he solidifies that back line though, because you have me solid, Tarkowski solid, and that gives him at least one really, really good fullback to kind of complete that line. And then we have Pope, who's actually pretty good as well.
But then Tarkowski's also rumored to be going, and you see teams like Newcastle, or whatever, get all this big money injection. You know, that could be a kind of thing that he's into or whatever, like an option there. But I don't know. I think for me, we're nailed on to go down in Norwich. I don't know.
I think Watford. I don't think Watford's got it. I think segment GK is going to go back down.
Norwich, Watford, Burnley, Leeds would be my 4, and 3 of those will go. Like I don't know.
See, for me, it's Leeds, Watford, Newcastle, and Southampton. I think Southampton's been dreadful.
It entirely depends on Newcastle's investment in January. If they go out and sign these players, then you're like,
then they're going to stay up.
Yeah, but if they can't attract those players, because obviously they look at it and like, well, they're in the relegation zone.
I can tell you right now, though, is if James Ward-Prowse tears an ACL, Southampton's fucked. Yeah, they're finished. They're absolutely finished. If he gets hurt in any way that ends his season, or even takes him out for a couple months, their season's over.
Yeah,
he's a one-man wrecking crew that's basically been pretty much the main reason they stayed up consistently.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously they lost Danny Ings to Aston Villa as well. So
yeah, Ings is solid. Yeah. They've got Che Adams, who's great. I love Che, but I don't think Che Adams on his own can keep him up.
No, they've recruited from the Championship too much. Like they
get a lot of players from the Championship, but they get a lot of youth players.
You need proven Premier League players as a foundation, and then you surround those proven players with Championship or youth team players, and you build it. But you build a team around a core of Premier League standard players, which Southampton have failed to do. So I think you're right. They
Southampton are just a feeder club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They always have.
They bring players in
this year. Like, what's your surprise team that's done way better than you've expected?
West Ham's sticking up top.
Apart from West Ham, and who was it? West Ham and
Wolves have
United dropping off.
Maybe. Yeah, actually, yeah. Here's a question for you guys. Who's the biggest drop off? I work around the table. Who's the biggest drop? Like, not drop off. Who's underperformed and who's overperformed this season for you? Ben.
I mean, they've had a dip in form recently, but you would say West Ham have overperformed, obviously. I mean, obviously they got Europa League last year and played well, but this year, like they're up there. I mean, like I say, they've had a little dip in form recently, but they're still, within touching distance of top 4. Probably honourable mention to Wolves because they had a slow start, but and obviously underperformed with the squad that they've got. United, like they've started to pick up a little bit with a new manager. I think he's obviously still trying to get his ideas across to the players, and they're still sort of trying to adjust to like the new style and tactics, way of playing, blah blah blah. But yeah, it's like I think it was when they signed Ronaldo. I think everyone knew like the pressure was on them because it's like there was always with United and Ollie. It was always like, yeah, he's doing well, got a bit of progress, but the squad's not quite there. And then you sign Ronaldo, you got one of the best players in the world. You're like, well, you got.
I don't think it was fully on Ole though. As a United fan, as one that's not very biased, I can know that Ole was at fault for a good amount of it, but the players were at fault for a lot. Though, as a player, you don't shoot 24 times and still not manage to score. Like you can't blame that on a manager when you shoot 24 times and you fail to score a single goal.
Yeah. No.
Like for me, but it's been a complete underperformance. I can say it's been a complete underperformance. But for us, it's funny because we actually had a worse start last year. But then February, we were on top. And we're underperforming, but we win both of our games in hand right now because we've only played 16 games. We're fourth place, only 5 off Chelsea.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're like Tom was saying, that top fourth spot debate's later. But I do think United are going to snick it. But that's the only thing I'll say about it. But like you say, obviously. Like you've had a better start than you did last season, this season, but it still was well below what you thought was
for sure
you were capable of, which is why it was sort of like a bit odd. But like you say, you're still within touching distance, and
like we got out of the group of the Champions League, which we did last year.
Yeah, I mean Ronaldo bailed you out every game.
See, for me, that's more of you can say Ronaldo's bailed us out, but at the same time, without bringing Ronaldo had to be brought in. It's not like he's just been here. Like for me, it's like we signed Ronaldo, and he's one of those things where you bring in a signing who does good for you. It's like what Bruno was when we first brought him in January. You could say Bruno saved our season, but he was brought in for a reason. He did what he was asked.
Yeah, I get that, but it's like there's some games that you look at and you're like, well, that is Ronaldo's influence right there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think the other thing that was it's like you're saying, some of it is on the players as well, because like they were saying like the oh no, they never down tools, like they were always back playing for the manager, but in some of those games they quite clearly had down tools and weren't playing for the manager. Especially the Watford game. Like they were just not asked anymore. How are you feeling, Tom? How are you feeling?
Yeah, good.
Good. Yeah.
Tom's going to stagger as soon as he stands. No, but I think my top overperforming team, which I think is going to go highly under-mentioned, is Palace.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the players that they brought in, they bring in Edouard from Celtic, who, was a good player.
We're talking about Palace, we're talking about Conor Gallagher.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher. Oh my gosh, he's phenomenal. Conor Gallagher.
Talk about a Chelsea player,
No. I'm not even being biased here. Like,
he's been phenomenal.
I've been watching I've been listening and watching to podcasts whilst I work and stuff and in cars, and so many football podcasts I've been saying who aren't necessarily Chelsea fans, like Conor Gallagher has been performing. He's a top goal scorer as a number 6.
Do you reckon he'll get game time at Chelsea?
If they don't, someone's gonna come by and say they don't give him a chance.
I've literally read an article today. About Conor Gallagher and saying it's looking like we probably will sell him for 60 million in the summer.
So he'll go to if Chelsea doesn't give him game time, he'll go. But I don't think he'll go for 60.
Palace have already debated signing him at 60 mil.
What top club is going to spend 60 million?
Liverpool.
Liverpool who didn't buy anybody last transfer window.
Palace will spend 60 mil?
It's the top. No.
I don't think they will.
I don't think
they will. But I'm looking at Talk Sports saying that Palace.
You'll pay about 35.
Fox Sport is just above the Daily Mail. Come on.
Palace will not pay 60 mil. Well, Liverpool.
No, I think it'd be 30-35. That's a reasonable price. I think for Gallagher, it's 30-35. I think 2 players you'll see leave Chelsea this summer are Gallagher, and you'll see Gallagher and Gilmore. Gilmore has been detracting a lot of attention, not only with Norwich, but he's also been with the Scottish national team. He's been phenomenal for the national team as well, helping them push to go to the World Cup. So if either of those center midfielders get game time, they're gone.
He only started one game in the Euros, right, Conor?
Yeah, he only started one game, but he was phenomenal in that one game. And now with the
but he was classed as your best player in the Euros, even though he played one game.
Yeah, now he's played for us in the World Cup qualifiers, and he's been one of our best players game in, game out. He's one of those guys who's never put a foot wrong for us since he started playing for us in the national team. But no, I think those 2 center midfielders right there, if neither of them are promised Chelsea game time, they're gone. and they're going to go for a combined 70 mil.
Like the mental thing is right with Chelsea currently is we have no fit midfielders. We have no fit sixes currently.
And yet you're not recalling Gallagher. You're not recalling.
Tuchel has already come out and said, like, I'm not going to recall them because obviously, like, you would never when a player like a youth player is playing that well and at that level at their clubs, you wouldn't recall them midway through the season and not necessarily give them every game if they're going to get it at that club and keep on playing at that performance. You bring them in the summer and try and integrate it into the team, which I completely agree with. But it's mental how currently the best sixes from Chelsea are possibly playing at other clubs.
And are probably going to be gone at the end of the year as well. I don't imagine either of them staying. But no, Crystal Palace, the great thing is their best player has been Eze. He's been out. Eze's been out for a while. He's been their best player. Fine. I mean, Zaha's great. I love Zaha, but I think he's one of the most overrated players in the Premier League because he consistently shows that for how great everybody talks about him, there's a reason why no other team has ever snapped him up. There's a reason he's still stuck at Crystal Palace after all these years.
He's not overrated. It's just he goes a few games missing.
He's got massive attitude problems.
Yeah. I think he's got a God-given right to not get tackled.
Every game, he's the one who's moaning at the ref in the ref's ear, and it's like the type of energy you bring to your football club. Yeah. You know, he could be an incredible player, but if he's going to make 10 other players play worse, then what's the point of having him? You know?
I think if Crystal Palace gets good offer for him, they'll be happy to get him off the books, and they'll definitely. I think Crystal Palace, especially with Vieira, I think Vieira is a brilliant signing that nobody saw coming. But I think their best signing of the year was signing Vieira as manager. Like if you look at summer signings, I think bringing in Vieira as manager was phenomenal.
Massive.
But I think underperforming definitely has got to be Leeds, especially if you're going to finish where you finished last year and you're Christmas now and you're at 16th on 16 points after 18 games. That's dreadful.
They're also the only team apart from Norwich. Bear in mind, Norwich before they sacked their manager, who've lost 7-0 this season.
Yeah, they've been absolutely awful. It's been a dreadful year for Leeds, and you can say there's been injuries and there's been COVID, but everybody's been hit. You know, Joe, Liverpool's been hit. You guys just had to cancel a game on Boxing Day. Ben, you guys have been hit with plenty. Chelsea, you guys really should have canceled your last game because you guys got hit with so much. We've had 2 games straight now that we haven't played because of COVID. We've had plenty of injuries. I mean, Varane's been out for a while, Pogba's been out for a while, so. You can look at it any way you want, but you can't use that as your excuse to be on 16 points after 18 games.
The only thing I want to play devil's advocate with you, Connor, obviously, is which Ben and me have spoken about before on the podcast. Is yes, possibly like I know Chelsea and United have probably had, and Liverpool, not necessarily City, have had the extent of players out that possibly is even more than Leeds. But the thing is. Chelsea, City, not so much Liverpool, but Chelsea and City and maybe United have the players in backup much more than
you would think.
I'm playing also. Bear in mind, I'm playing devil advocate because I must completely say like we have been screwed by injuries and COVID. We've been screwed.
You want to know how many players we had fit before we canceled our last game? Not the last game, but the game before that. When we canceled the first game, it's because we had 11 players fit. Like total 11, we had 11 people that could play out of all positions.
Been a few more guys.
We had to play Kante and Kovacic because
we would have been playing. We would have had to play U18s. We would have literally been we would have literally had. I think we had 7. I think we had like 7 or 8 field players, and like 2 of our goalies were good to go. But the rest would have all had to be like under 23s and under 18s because we literally had nobody. We've gone from 11 now to back to 25 being available, so that's why we've been able to play again.
It's COVID has hit. COVID has hit us pretty hard. I think every team pretty hard, and I guess fortunately, for top clubs, because I mean, who really wants a podcast involving the smaller clubs? I can't believe I said that. Yeah, let's move on to the most likely to as before I make myself seem like a bad person.
Yep.
So we've got a couple, not necessarily. So some of them are about us, and I'm going to just include like us 5. And if you want to branch out to the Blue Podcast boys, I know Connor might with some of them, then that's fine. And I might as well because of a specific person beginning with J and ending with Ak. Actually, I try, to be fair, I've steered clear.
Wait, are you talking about Jack?
Yeah.
Jack was too busy crying over the fact that Doncic has gone down with COVID. And
the Blue Podcast group chat, like Jack in the summer would just put him getting absolutely sloshed.
Oh my God, every single day.
Why don't we just... Jack's not involved in that question.
All right, then
I'll say it.
I'll go through them. I don't think there's any alcohol ones, actually.
Oh, Tom, you've escaped being put for any alcohol one. If we're not including Jack, has to go to Tom. If there's someone who's second place for showing pictures of them being sloshed, it's usually Tom, and it's usually Tom with Jack.
Yeah. Shall I put in an alcohol one just for the fun of it?
You can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, chat amongst yourselves one, I think, quickly.
Right, top 4. With this time.
No, that's for later. That's for later.
We're on 45 minutes now, anyway.
We're on 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I want to do the most likely twos first before the top 4.
Our top 4 is going to be City, Liverpool, Chelsea, United. Sorry, Tom. Actually, I'm not sorry at all.
Screw it. Go for it. Okay, top 4. I want it in order. This was supposed to be for later, but I mean, you know what? This is a Christmas special. And I mean, considering how messy the last one got, and how sloshed I was, and Carol actually leathered as well. Just
like was this the end, wasn't it? So like you can just like flip. This can be now and then the who.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, mate. Like I've got very used to the Christmas special just being an absolute.
So yeah, it's count. Right. Top 4.
Right, what I want is first place, second place, third place, fourth place. And then you could argue your case, whatever you want. We'll start with Ben.
I mean, obviously, I'm going to back City to come top. And then, I mean, this is purely based on current form, isn't it? But yeah, back City to come top, Liverpool, Chelsea. And then I do think...
Chelsea.
This current form, like Liverpool are playing better than Chelsea. So
yeah, Chelsea's gotten the United jinx. We jinxed both you and Arsenal to absolutely just become a wank after we beat you. Or drew. Sorry, drew. If we drew with Chelsea, we beat Arsenal.
Yeah. Nice, but I do think United are going to snick it. I don't know. I just got a feeling it's like just the like new manager, you know, all that business. Like
we had to get Champions League so that Ronaldo stays.
Yeah. But I do. I mean, I'm not. You know, like West Ham, Arsenal, because Arsenal like have started to pick up a little bit again. But yeah, West Ham, Arsenal, and I do think Tottenham will have a shout. They'll put the hat in the ring because Tottenham, like, you just have to watch that Liverpool game. Like, they're a threat now. Like,
yeah, they're only on 15 games played. They're 15 games played on 26 points.
Yeah, they've got plenty of games in hand. Like, they go above United, but on a point. If both United and Spurs win all their games in hand, Spurs go above by a point, I think. So, you know, they've got a threat about them, Tottenham. So, like, I wouldn't discount like them, but like, I do think United will
give it to Spurs. Spurs are just like Leicester; they'll bottle it eventually.
I do think United will edge it because you've got Ronaldo as well, so he'll make the difference in those games as well. So, you know, yeah, that's my piece.
Wait, can I quickly write that down? Say again.
What? Oh, my top 4.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4.
What were you?
Tom was daydreaming about getting another gear.
Right now.
Right, yeah. City top, Liverpool, then Chelsea, then United.
Cool. Cheers. Connor.
On current form, I'd have to say probably City first, Chelsea second, Liverpool third, United fourth. I just think Liverpool has got the problem. They still have the problem, and I think Joe will probably agree with me, is if you get hit by a couple injuries, you guys don't really have – it was the same thing last year. You get hit by some major injuries in some big positions, and it really hits you guys hard, especially with the fixture congestion of having 2 cups. One of them you're still in. I think honestly the best decision for you would have been to just let yourselves go out of the Carabao Cup and focus on.
We tried to, mate. We tried to. We just.
And Leicester in pure Fox form absolutely bottled it when they literally had it all to go for them. But if Joe, if right now, if you guys lose Salah and you lose Van Dijk, I think you guys.
If they lose
dip out of the top four,
they'll drop to Europa League.
I think we're in a better place than last year in terms of injuries and squad depth. I think I completely agree with if Salah goes, we're a little bit fucked. But
Morton should have gotten a red, by the way, for that tackle against Leicester.
Is the AFCON
that was dreadful. That was absolutely dreadful.
Yeah, I mean, but I think in terms of the Premier League and whatever, I think injury wise, obviously we've got AFCON coming up as well. Which it's been announced it is still happening.
Is Klopp letting him go?
I think Salah will want to go. He's the Egyptian king. I think he
has to go because he's going to want to win. He's going to want to win it for Egypt.
He's going to want to win it, and you can't keep him if he is. But I think we're in a better place. You know, we've got Jota firing. You know, Firmino has played well when he's come back, and I just think we're in a better place now. I think if we compare it to the situation of the rest of the top four, they're all going through a very similar thing with COVID and with injuries and stuff. There's always that trade-off. Like, it's not just Liverpool and every other team is picking up points. Everyone's dropping points because of it, or everyone's affected by it at least.
Here's a quick question for you, Joe. Do you think you might bring in someone in January to back up Salah? If obviously he will be away for all of January, or
not financially.
I don't think we will. I don't think financially we've got it. The only names
FSG won't allow it.
Like only players I've heard us linked to is Dan Juma from Villarreal.
He's a solid player. He's a very solid player. That's a great pickup if you guys get him for cheap.
But I think you say cheap. I think he'll be like 50 mil, 40 mil. I don't think he's a January signing.
I think he's rated right now. Let me see here. I'll see what he's rated.
We've also got eyes on. Why have I forgotten his name? The Leeds, Rafinha. But he's
Juma's rated at 30 million right now, so he's probably going to be 40, 50.
He's in and out of injury at the minute.
And same, they're the two names I've heard us linked to, but again, they're two big summer signings, right? They're not a January signing. They're not backup players.
Fab always talks about Sarr, doesn't he? From
Fab's always going on about.
Sarr's going to get as soon as Watford goes down, he's getting nabbed. But I think the reason for me as well that I say that I know you mentioned Spurs. And, of course, there's West Ham, who's probably going to have something to say, of course, about trying to get top four. Another reason I think United sneaks top four is not just because of who we have now, but January, we're linked to a ton of players. And I think if we only bring in two of them, it massively improves the squad. If we just bring in Haidara, it massively improves our midfield. And it's not to mention Alvarez, who we're thinking of getting to replace Martial when he goes. And Alvarez is only $22 million for his release clause. But if we're able to even sign, one midfielder in Haidara, or if we bring in both Haidara and Kamara from Marseille, I mean, that vastly improves that midfield, which honestly is our one real big weakness. And we keep the defenders healthy. Varane needs to stay healthy. Everybody on our back line for Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, Maguire, and Varane have missed at least 2 or 3 weeks throughout the course of the year so far. So if we can keep the back line healthy, I think we're fine. I think we'll easily snatch top 4.
Yeah, maybe Liverpool might look at a loan deal because I mean financially, not that they couldn't do it, but it's not worth it.
I don't think we'll do it, mate. If I'm honest, not even a loan. I think we're going to be relatively quiet.
It's not worth it for a month.
You think you'll see any outgoings?
No.
The only thing I can say with that is it depends how desperate you are to win the Premier League this season. That's the thing. It completely depends how desperate you are to win the Premier League.
Well, if you want, if I interject, I'll say my top 4 now.
You're next.
Just
anyway.
To keep on topic, I think City and Liverpool are the two. I'm going to go against
second. I need your first and second.
I'm going to go City first, Liverpool second, and pure reasoning is I think as a fan as well, I think Liverpool are really going to give the Champions League a go this year. Really give it a go. And then I think third and fourth, I'm kind of going to go against what you guys have said. I'm going to go Arsenal third and Chelsea fourth. And I think I know it's big. It's big. Reason again.
That's like saying Norwich is going to recover and place 10th.
Hey, look, my reasoning is I think I think Chelsea are going to win the Carabao Cup. I think it's going to be a Chelsea-Arsenal final, and I think Chelsea are going to win. I think Chelsea are going to have a run in the Champions League, but I don't think you're going to win. And I think that's going to cause a down spiral. And I think you're going to drop points. The game's going to turn. I honestly think it's going to be close. But I think and then I think Arsenal. I don't like Arsenal. Don't get me wrong, but I like the players in their team. I think they've got some really if they make a couple of sensible signings in January. They're a very strong.
If they don't, though, if they don't, whatever team they have now is the rest of the season their team. I think Arsenal goes. I think Arsenal goes top 4. Personally, I think Arteta's starting to become a reliable manager. I think you're starting to see a very consistent trend in how they play. And I think just players who are out of form are now in it. Lacazette is now a very good striker, not in terms of goal scoring, but he's always the benefit of not being in much cups.
Can I slightly interject with mine as well? Sorry, Kieran, but I completely agree with who you've got in the top 4, Joe. But obviously, I'm going to have Chelsea in 2nd, Liverpool in 3rd, and Arsenal in 4th. But I think Arsenal. Have been blessed. I think Arsenal have been absolutely blessed with the fact that
everybody else is getting
they got Martinelli, Smith Rowe, Odegaard, and what I want to say here is the mental thing is those 3 are in form, right? Saka's still playing well, but he's not even playing as well as those 3 players, and he's still playing really well. And then you've got the fact that Aubameyang's not playing for them, and it's made a clear difference,
It's what I was referring to with the Zaha thing. If you get one bad egg, it can cause a really big downspout. I think Aubameyang's gone in January. I think a team like Barcelona will pick him up for cheap. They need a centre forward.
I don't think they need a centre forward in January. I think they just need him to go.
Aubameyang's gone. I think that's probably already confirmed. I think there's probably already deals going on. I don't think United are going to make top 4 because I think I'm going to go against what you said, Connor. I think Ronaldo will stay with United even if they don't get Champions League. I think he's got at least one more season. I think he will too, but
I think we're going to make. We already are pretty much confirmed to have made or are about to make at least 2 summer signings, and I think with those both being the midfield, basically the 3 that are being talked about right now is Haidar is pretty much done. We're just waiting for the transfer window to start. Kamara's 70% done. And then now coming into the race is Tyler Adams from Leipzig, who's a defensive midfielder. That gives us 2 defensive midfielders and another central midfielder who's kind of box to box that can go in and play. We're getting Varane's now back healthy. Cavani's back healthy. Greenwood's back healthy. We've gotten everybody but Pogba back. And then we're about to pick up 2 or 3 midfielders in January. I just don't see Arsenal, I don't think Arsenal makes a ton of signings. I think if they do, they make 1 and they have Aubameyang leave and they use that money to buy 1. I just don't think that's going to be enough. And Arsenal just traditionally, it's like with Wolves, not with Wolves, but like with Leicester and like with Tottenham. It's just traditional now. It's tradition now with them to end up fucking at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, I agree with the traditional part of it, but I just feel since even before Wenger left, we're talking even seasons before Wenger left, I don't think we've seen Arsenal, and I hate to say this as a London club, I hate to say this, but I don't think we've seen Arsenal quite like they are right now, if that makes sense.
I agree. I completely agree.
We haven't seen them with this young talent, or even don't have to be particularly young, but I'm just actually,
it's the best Arsenal.
It's more. Clearly, it's more talent that want to play.
They're battling for their spot and they're wanting to play for Arsenal. And we haven't seen that even seasons before Wenger left for a long, long time with Arsenal. And it's the only reason why I say Arsenal have a massive shout for top 4 is because they've got players who clearly, including I know personally as well, I slated their summer transfer window. They spent so much on players who we thought were just second best to the players they brought in.
Those are clever.
But clearly they're not. Clearly, Ramsdale. I know he. Not gonna lie, Ramsdale gets ego boosted a lot by
He's been
Twitter,
solid.
but he not knocking. He's been fantastic. Probably in terms of form last 4 weeks, best Premier League keeper in terms of form last 4 weeks. And then Tavares. Imagine if they hadn't got Tavares this season. Tierney's been injured. Tavares
He's kept Tierney out when he's been back as well.
He's been great. Tomiyasu at right back,
Fantastic.
revelation for them. Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and Saka turning up. Odegaard finally turning up. Like,
I completely agree. I think
Jimenez also helped by having more of a cupcake back half than Arsenal.
But I actually really enjoy watching them play. I hate Arsenal.
You're starting to see the Arteta. You're starting to see the Guardiola in Arteta now. Like you're starting, and it's not just. I think before he didn't have the squad to do it. Now he's got ball players. You've got Smith Rowe, Odegaard. Sorry, Kieran. And then you've got those players who now, like you said, Tom, they want to play for the club. I honestly think it's the best Arsenal squad since slightly before Wenger left.
Yeah,
I think they're going to be top 4. I've said in front of Chelsea that's on the premise that Chelsea drop form. Obviously, it's likely they won't, but I've got a hunch. That's what I'll say. I
do have my last thing just to say, like, for backing United, of being the only United, supporter here, I got to back them as hard. I think they've got an easier schedule, and I think that's going to help because if you look at our 2 games in hand are against Brentford and then home against Brighton. We have Newcastle now. Our next game after that is Burnley at home. And then we go to a month where we have Wolves, Villa, and West Ham, which I think there's a couple winnable games. But February is Burnley, Southampton, Leeds, and Watford. That's our February.
That's mad.
That's February.
In January 3 times. Bloody Spurs. We played Spurs 3 times in January. 3!
Yeah, so for us, our February is away Burnley, home Southampton, away Leeds, home Watford. I see a lot of these cupcake games. Like March, on the other hand, is City, Tottenham, Liverpool. That's our March. But I think we have March is going to be a long month for me. But I think Arsenal's got a little bit harder of a schedule.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Arsenal is just one of the ones that, I mean, when we were talking about who's overachieved and underachieved, they went under the radar a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this will be the last thing, and then kids can obviously do. I think what I would say, Aubameyang leaving almost makes that squad like a more complete squad. You know what I mean? It's like he's like the odd one out sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like it feels like it's got a more of a, like it feels like that's where it's what's supposed to happen. Like it's meant to, like the squad's meant to be without Aubameyang, if you know what I mean. Like it still feels.
I was gonna say, I think that's part of Arteta settling in. Like one of the big steps up for him is going, you're not starting.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna play who I think is the best player at the minute. Martinelli's coming on and he's playing class. Lacazette gets a few goals now.
Yeah.
Lacazette researched.
It's interesting.
But I think that's like one of Arteta's statements to say, right, I'm doing it my way now.
Yeah.
All right, wait, Kieran. Yeah, anyway, do your top 4.
Well, I was going to say Arsenal, but you've already spoiled that, so I'm going to go West Ham.
You still say Arsenal, but I want first.
No, I'm going to go West Ham for.
All right. Okay. So who's your top 3? Top 4 even?
City first. We've got the depth and the way we play. We're actually grinding out the close games, the tough games. I'm going to go Liverpool. I think they're one to grind out results as well. Chelsea's being hit with more important injuries, I think. So Chelsea third, and then I'm going to go West Ham fourth.
But we all know that you were going to go for.
I'm going to do Arsenal.
Kieran, why won't United make top 4?
Good question.
I think it's more
West
Ham.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was gonna say, like, does he fancy like joining
Hey,
the
look,
football show or something?
I'm 3 brew dogs down. I'm in the mood now, guys. I'm in the blue podcast mood. Come on then, Kieran. Why did United? Why do United not make it?
He can replace you, Ben.
I'm thinking more. It's not about United. It's about West Ham. They beat all the top 6 this season.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Or like they're grinding out results against the top 6. I think that's a big statement. They beat us in the cup, which it's not the Prem, obviously, but
yeah. No, I
That's
think
right. I was debating West Ham personally as well, but I just lately the last 3-4 weeks I've just, like, as I said before, I hate Arsenal, but there's just been something about them lately that I've been very, very impressed by.
they've looked dominant.
Yeah, like I've been very, very impressed with Arsenal, and the thing is, obviously, at the same time, I also know this Arsenal side isn't too different to last season. It's different, but not too different. And we've seen last season them have like a good 3-4 games and then just completely bomb for a bit. So we've seen it happen before, but the only difference is I feel like the certain players that come in compared to West Ham, it's just slightly different.
Yeah. Now, I was going to say, there's going to be get a message. You're going to get a message off Tom like after this, and contracts sent through on Snapchat or something for a house party.
Well, I mean, Ben, do you remember the last Christmas special? Was the second time Ben and Cam ever came on the podcast?
Yeah.
And within 2 weeks, we'd created a brand new show called The Purple Show. And
well, you can make a new one called The Rainbow Show with me.
I mean, we've actually thought of that before.
Have you? What? You get me and Ben Ankit on there. You ready? Absolutely ready for The Rainbow Show.
I mean, it looks like we got Conor on there as well after the messages we've been seeing in the private chat the last 5
No, that's been you and Joe. I was just going off of what you and Joe, the vibe from you and Joe.
Just
Don't
keep
be
your
putting me
spirits
up.
high. Just keep
I wish
the
we
spirits
could
high.
throw the private chat in the podcast, but at the same time, I wish we could.
Like, I'm happy we can't. But at the same time, that'd be funny.
Yeah,
No, but I just got some news. Arsenal news. Arteta's finally spoken on the Aubameyang situation.
Go on.
He said, "I don't establish my authority by being a dictator. I just ask for one thing: it's respect and commitment. That's all. If you don't ask for that at this level, I think I pack my bags and I go somewhere else." So basically, if he's not going to get respect and commitment from his players, then he's just going to fuck off and leave.
That's
That's
the Guardiola in him, mate.
Or just basically I'll leave or I'll just sell whoever isn't giving me my respect.
Yeah,
I think Alba's gone. Like that's. I think it's a Barcelona move. I think he's going to go cut price. I think Barcelona need a centre forward. Depay I think Depay's got 8 goals.
A new centre forward. They've just got Torres.
Yeah, but he's not.
You know what? I forgot about that.
And
he was centre forward for City. He was.
Yeah.
Maybe not then. Maybe not. I think
I'll move along those lines. Maybe not Barca, but along those lines, like at Juve.
Yeah.
Juve could use him right now.
They're the only teams that can pay his wages. Let's be honest. Like
PSG could, but they're not going to be looking for him.
No, he's not good enough for PSG.
And nobody in Germany is going to touch him with a 10-foot pole at this point. Like, if he's imagining that he's going to go back to Dortmund or something like that.
He's not young anymore either, is he? He's what? 31,
No, he's 32.
Well, there you go. Yeah, he's not young anymore. He's got what? If he's good, then 4 years at the top. If not, he's got another year left. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Do you think Lacazette gets anything?
It's make or break for Aubameyang. Next move or whatever. It's make or break. He either continues and
14 matches this year. He's on 4 goals, 1 assist, 3 yellows.
Who's that? Aubameyang?
In the Prem. Here, let me get his full stats. I've got my little stat searcher thing. So right now he's on a total of 7 goals, 2 assists in 15 games. And that's literally. I will premise this by saying 3 of those goals have come from a single game. 3 goals and 1 assist have come from a single game in the EFL Cup.
Yeah, I think the quality will always be there. It's almost an Alexis Sanchez situation, just on a much reduced level. The quality's there. He just doesn't want to play for Arsenal anymore. But I also think that's a little bit above his station because he's not better than Arsenal. He wouldn't make the front three of any team in the top 6. I think if he goes to West Ham, he's struggling against Jared Bowen, if I'm honest.
Mikel Antonio is far better.
Do you know what I mean?
Antonio's been absolutely phenomenal. There's no way for club and country. Antonio's been top, so there's no way he'll get left out. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see West Ham go again in for Lingard. Now that it's basically like Lingard's going to be allowed to leave, because Ole stopped his move from United at the end of the summer. But if now it's Ralph's going, if you want him, come get him for the right price. West Ham, I think, will come in and grab him, and then Lingard's technically a center forward, an attacking midfielder, and a winger. So I think that takes away really any Prem club from taking Aubameyang at this point.
Yeah, I think Aubameyang's. I honestly don't know what his next step is. He's got to go abroad. I don't know what league, don't know what club, but he can't stay at Arsenal.
Do you think he might go to? You think he might pull a James Rodriguez and go to like Saudi Arabia or something like that? And get
I think he's got that in him. I think he's that kind of player. Yeah. I think I've got a mate actually. Little anecdote. I've got a mate who I met at uni who lives in the same part of London. He lives not far from the Arsenal training ground, and he says Aubameyang drives around like a golden Lamborghini, and you think at that point like that's the sort of it's materialistic. Yeah, it's not. I don't know.
It's not the sort of character you want in the changing room.
No, especially when you've got youngsters coming up who haven't got the money to get that golden Lamborghini, yet they're playing better than him. It's not for me really. But like that, I think that's the kind of character he is. And like I said, it's for me. I don't like Zaha as a player, so I'm going to keep referring back to it. It's the Zaha complex. It's the thinking you're too good for your club. And I think a lot of people agree that Zaha is too good for a club, maybe, but I don't see it as being too good for your club. I see it as being the best player in your club. Yeah, I think there's you've got to have a little.
It's just kind of the same with like Salah and Hazard when Hazard was at Chelsea. Like both of them know that they're the best player in the club, and I guess with Kante now as well, but they don't necessarily act like it. If that makes sense, like Aubameyang thinks he's too big for the club, whereas when Hazard was at Chelsea, Salah right now, Kante-ish, especially Kante even, they don't act like they're there, too good for the club, which is a massive thing, and I think is a massive ethos. And the same with De Bruyne when he was at the top. De Bruyne didn't necessarily act like he's too good for Man City because he knows the whole.
To me, it's as if he's acting like De Bruyne's past it.
No. I'm saying like when he was at his best of the best, when he was fully fit.
Yeah.
Like he didn't act like a tosser. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do think with Aubameyang as well. It's just the last thing I'll say on it, but it feels like he's the last person who's sort of the connection between the old Arsenal and the new Arsenal. If you know what I mean? Like he's still connected to like that sort of end of Wenger, post Wenger era where they were just completely the identity had gone. And like he once he goes, then it'll be like properly. This is like the new Arsenal sort of thing. So yeah, interesting.
Guess you will.
Let's move on for who. Obviously, I've asked for everyone's top 4, and obviously then I've give me a second. Joe's gone for a second. I've asked for everyone's top 4, and then I'm also going to put them in the order that like we'll put them places, whatever. Connor, who's your 4th?
My 4th is going to be United. I think United's going to make top 4. I just think with summer signings, with January signings, they'll get in.
All right. So in 6th place, West Ham. In 5th place, Manchester United. In 4th place, Arsenal. In 3rd place, Chelsea. In 2nd place, Liverpool. And in 1st place, Manchester City. Manchester City clean swept, by the way. They are expected to win the Premier League this season.
I just don't think anybody's challenging them right now. It's unfortunate as it is. It's just
current form, like that because it's purely.
It's like they're 2000s United right now, where just every single year they're either in the hunt or they're winning it.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, I'm gonna pop off. I gotta go get ready for church.
Yeah.
Fair enough, mate. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on. And
Cheers, thanks for having me. Good to see you.
check out Conor's channel. Are you still posting on your channel, Conor?
Not a fucking bit.
No. Well, you got anything you want to shout out? Obviously, your Twitter, etc.
Yeah, my Twitter is Yank Talking Smack, which isn't here, but yeah, Yank Talking Smack's my Twitter handle. I'm also frequently on the Man United Agenda, where I get to talk with other like-minded people about this club that we all love. So go check it out. We just passed 1K subscribers actually over there.
So you beat up to 1K subs. Bloody hell.
Yeah, they're at 1 point. We're at 1.1 now, I think.
We're
I see where your loyalties lie now, then, Conor.
No, I'm trying. No, trust me, I'm trying. I'm actually I've gotten those subscribers from people that I work with and stuff like that. In my networking groups I go to for my business. I've been getting people to subscribe to us from that. So I'm trying. I know my loyalties lie with who I started with first. But
how many were you on currently? We are currently on 886. So
if you're not subscribed, if you're watching right now and you're not subscribed, what the fuck are you doing?
Thank you very much, Conor.
Oh shit.
I will put that. Are you happy with me to put it on TikTok?
What's that?
I'll probably put that little clip on the TikTok if that's all right with you.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
All right. Enjoy church, bro. See you in a bit.
Cheers. Have a good day, guys.
See ya.
You're saying that people will be watching it this time, but
that's why I'm putting it on the TikTok. That's why I'm going to clip it and put it on the TikTok because there's no chance anyone's watching.
I just saw Conor leave, and you know what? I liked the fact he said, "Have a good day" when it's 11 o'clock at night.
He's in America.
I know. Well, I was going to say, I was going to ask, what's his time right now?
West Coast.
Yeah, that means nothing.
Is it 8 hours?
Yeah.
West
8 hours.
It's just everyone knows what West Coast time is. So
Yeah, exactly. No.
Yeah, well, I've had to get used to as a prolific podcaster, chatting to Americans. All that.
Jeez.
There you go. Anyway, where are
we at? Okay, so we just revealed the positions. In sixth place was West Ham, in fifth place was United, fourth was Arsenal, third was Chelsea, second was Liverpool, and first was City by a land. Was that mine sweep?
Landslide.
Mine sweep.
Landslide. That's the one. That's the one. All right. Who's most likely to? And the first who's most likely to question isn't actually who's most likely to question. It's a who's more overrated question.
Okay.
Obviously, put it in the chat and then I'll read it out. Who is more overrated? Saka, Mount, Smith Rowe, or Maddison?
Oof.
I've gone for all English here.
Yeah.
I've not tried to, but yeah.
With the same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. This is not saying he's a bad player, but he's
no.
He's not.
No, and this one isn't.
I just think the other three are performing.
Yeah, and this one also, by the way, isn't like a winning. You're not going to get the most points by the end. It's just I want to get opinions out there. Yeah. So James Maddison was the answer out of everyone.
Can I ask Tom? Can you say that? Right. Who were the other three again?
Saka, Mount, Smith Rowe.
Right. Then I'll ask to Ben and Kieran, the four he just said, who's the most likely to miss out on an England spot? You're answering the same question. Same question. I think Maddison's good. Don't get me wrong. He scored a screamer against Liverpool the other day. He's been really good recently. But you compare him to those names, he just doesn't offer the same amount. I don't know what it is. I personally, Tom, you're going to think I'm really anti-Chelsea here, which I am. I'm not the biggest fan of Mount, but I think he's better.
Out of them four, I think he's the better one.
Yeah. Mount's the best out of those four.
Yeah, but I mean, some of the goals he's scored.
I'd say second best. I'd say Saka is better.
Oh, okay.
But
they're slightly different, really, because Saka's more of a winger.
Yeah, they are completely. Yeah, basically, what I'm saying to you boys, which you've answered, is Maddison's going to find it extremely difficult to get into the England squad, because I think he's older than the rest of the guys in that thing. I think he's older than Mount as well, which even if he does become really good, that subconsciously becomes a problem because in everyone's head, if you're young and you're playing well, you're better. You know, people hit their peaks at different times, obviously, but there's that thing where which especially Southgate goes by. So if you're young and you're playing really well, you're going to get in.
And a curveball in there as well is if I put in Conor Gallagher into that equation,
mate,
I'd be in the same position.
I disagree with Kieran. I think I love Conor Gallagher. I think he's probably first, if not second, out of then the rest of the names. And my reason is I was going to say this earlier when we were talking about Conor Gallagher.
Kieran's face is saying something else.
I was going to say Conor Gallagher's played for West Brom, Swansea, and Crystal Palace. So 3 seasons in a row, he's been the best player in his team. Yeah. So there's been loads of different players he's played with. I think every time he's been the best player in his team. And I think there is an England spot for him in the future.
Well, interestingly...
but that's what I'm saying. At the minute, them 3 are fighting for that position. He's not had a say.
Okay, I agree with you. Okay, yeah.
In the future, yeah, maybe.
If you're talking about England, Conor Gallagher has had a more recent England start for the first team than James Maddison.
Yeah, but that was who was that against? That was the 10-0, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was brought in because Grealish went home and someone else went home because of COVID or injury.
I'm a big fan of Conor Gallagher. I'm a very big fan.
I like him, but
yeah,
I prefer to Smith Rowe.
At the minute, they're better.
Yeah, if you, I mean,
Smith Rowe's got set pieces.
Yeah, I think Mason Mount is. I mean, he's Chelsea player, but I do think he is a quality player. Like I remember we did this England squad tier list, and we were debating is he world class? Blah blah blah. But
would you say that? Actually, wait. Can I ask you this question? Is he now world class?
Yeah, this season, I'd say he is. Like some of the goals.
Finally, understood.
Like the goal he scored against West Ham. The technique for that.
You think Mason Mount's world class?
Joe, can I also?
It was out of England squad.
Can I say my level of world class is Tony Cruz, is Luka Modric, is those. You're saying that Mason Mount. You're saying Mason Mount is on the same level as those guys.
Can I completely veto what you're saying?
Kevin De Bruyne. You're saying Mason Mount.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that he's better than those players, but
if you put him in a 10, he's worse than the best players in the world. If you put him in a 4 or a 6, he's worse than the best players in the world. If you put him in an 8, he's worse than the best players in the world.
Joe, it was a tier list between the youngsters, England youngsters.
Okay, but if we're talking world class now,
no, it was just the tier list. The top tier list was just named.
Okay.
Can I
go on, Tom? You're vetoing me. Go on.
What you're saying,
we could have changed it out for A, B, C.
Chelsea.
That's. Well, I'm not saying he's better than De Bruyne, Cruz, Modric, because quite clearly isn't. But in terms of compared to those players, I'd put him at the top. Out of those 4, I'd probably I do think some of the goals he scores and stuff like that. But I'm not saying he's suddenly.
Okay. I jumped the gun.
I completely agree with Ben. I'd say currently in terms of the best players in the Premier League, he's up there, 100%, absolutely up there as one of the best players in the Premier League currently. And I back this up by we'd currently be 4th or 5th in the Premier League if it wasn't for Mason Mount in the last 5-6 games. If it wasn't for Mason Mount in the last 5-6 games, Chelsea would be 4th or 5th.
Tom, can I ask who have you played? Because I don't know. Who have you played in the last 4 or 5 games?
Shockers, absolute stinkers.
So then is that not testament to Mason Mount's level? He plays good against the Shockers.
No, because he's playing better than the 3rd and 6th best players apparently in the world.
Mate, I think he's a system player. Personally, I think he's a Henderson, the equivalent to a Henderson in a Liverpool team.
Also, can I say, bear in mind, just open up the Premier League app, and the first person that turns up is Mason Mount putting him into your fantasy team. Enough said.
Mate, I think I agree with you. He's playing well at the minute. in Tuchel's system, in Chelsea's system, I think he was a
because-
ghost in the Euros. I think he was a
Okay.
ghost he was a passenger
People that
in
say
the
that-
Euros.
People that say that about the fact that he fits Tuchel's system are absolute bollocks, because every manager he has played for, he is instantly within one game.
You can say the same
He
with
is a
Jordan
teacher's pet,
Henderson.
isn't
Jordan
He's a
Henderson
teacher's pet,
is the same thing, and Jordan Henderson got hate for years for doing
No.
as a defensive version of it.
What's
I think they're system players, that they're team players. That's what they are. They are not.
What's
They
your-
are.
No, he's a team player. He's a team player. There's a big difference between a system player.
I think in every team he jumps in, he's the third, fourth, fifth best player in his team, and that's how it goes.
Right, so I'm not like, don't really have an opinion on this, but like, what would you say, Kiz? Would you say he is a system player, or would you say that he is a proper like?
I'll put it in the way you could grab a 10 from the Bundesliga. If you put him in that Chelsea squad, he's going to get some stats against the smaller teams.
So
I think Mount at the minute is playing really well.
Right. So
As a player himself,
he's
got his own.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He is the only reason Chelsea are even still in the title race currently.
Right. Yeah, I mean.
But what I'm trying to say is, you could put another 10 in that role, and they'll do the same job.
I don't think he'd do that, but I don't think they would do the same job. That's the thing. I genuinely don't.
Is this English bias?
No, it's not. It's not. Because I've
Fine,
said
Tom,
in
can I
previous
say-
podcasts, I've
can
said
I
in
say
previous
one thing?
podcasts that I don't. I've previously said there have been moments where I don't think Mount this season has been good enough at all, and I think it's been deserved when he's not played, and he had a tooth injury, whatever. Who cares? I will always say I know I'm generally, when it comes to whole of Chelsea, I'm quite biased. When it comes to individual players, I've never been biased by individual Chelsea players in my life. Individual players.
Just Mason Mount. Just Mason Mount.
Ben, you've seen me slate him.
Tom,
You've
can I ask
seen me
you a
slate him.
question?
And Jorginho.
I hate
Tom,
Jorginho.
Tom, can I ask you something?
Go on.
So you say he's an incredible player, right? I think he's a very good player. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's as good as you're saying. You're saying that, Kieran was saying about you take a 10 from the Bundesliga. I'm saying if you take if you take Smith Rowe, does he make more? Does he score more? He's got the same Chelsea team around him, but you swap out Mount for Smith Rowe. I think Smith Rowe does a better job.
Yeah.
Personally, so then
That's
there's the
I'd say he's
question.
got better stats, but that's just because he's got.
There's the question, like,
Mount's got better stats.
is he world class, or is it the team around him?
No, I mean he'd get better stats.
I think Smith Rowe comes in, he does the same, if not better job than, let's say, in a parallel universe, right? Smith Rowe grew up in the Chelsea academy, and he's the man doing Mount's role now. Are you then
only rated higher?
We need to see
Mount with less assists and less goals in the Premier League. Mason,
But he's playing for Arsenal,
he's
mate.
being talked about.
Who
by
started the
pundits
season?
way
Who
more.
started the season horrendously? Chelsea were top of the season, top of the league.
Mount.
Chelsea were going to win the league 8 games in at this point. You had Lukaku firing, who's now still got 3 goals.
I mean, he also
Like,
hasn't played. He's played like 8 games a season. But
You had fantastic squad depth. If you're not playing like Pulisic, you're playing Ziyech, you're playing Hudson-Odoi.
Sorry.
Like, so, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Mount's a good player. I'm not anti-Mount. I think he starts for England at the minute. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think I don't like the fact you said he's world class, because I think you bring in Smith Rowe, you bring in Gallagher, you bring in, like Kieran has said in the chat, Foden. They do better. Hey, you bring Minamino in. You bring Minamino in, and he'll get a goal and assist every now and then.
I was allowing the first 3.
Hey, look. Did you see how Minamino took that on his chest and scored?
Minamino's too far.
Mate,
Foden,
okay, fine.
I think what's happened there.
Smith Rowe at a push, Gallagher at a push.
I think they do a better job than Mount in that role.
In that tier list, we use the wrong words, basically.
I wasn't there, so I might have completely misunderstood
it. Was just
but
comparison.
The world class thing has irked me.
We'll change it to like grades on a paper.
Yeah,
A, B, C.
But then,
I'm just talking about context.
Question. Is Mount currently at the same level as Phil Foden or higher? Currently.
As the same level.
Same level or higher.
Foden's cracking.
So I'm asking you a question: is Mason Mount at the same level as?
I think
no.
Importance-wise,
You don't
like
think
to the
Mason Mount's
team,
the same
yeah.
level as Phil Foden right now?
I mean, I wouldn't say he's better.
No, I changed from same level. I've said same level or better. Either way,
Yeah, because Foden's not played as much recently. So yeah.
Yeah, I'd say same level just because he has carried you the past 3 games, 4 games.
Foden, so in those top 6 games, like Liverpool, what was it? Like against Chelsea, we won 1-0. Like he played really well. And he influenced. He like it's I guess it's a sign of a good player that he doesn't just sort of help the team. He influences the games. Foden. He always chips in with a goal.
I'm thinking from like the opposition side. If you're going into a game, who would you be more worried about?
Yeah.
And it's definitely Foden.
Yeah, I know.
Then also, Kieran, I'm going to support Tom here. That's style of player as well.
Yeah,
that's also if I'm a right back, a left back, a centre back, I'm more worried about Foden coming at me, like making a mug of me. Mount, I agree, is less threatening on that front, but he's still a threat.
On that argument about position, right? On that argument about position, Reece James. Not including the last 2 weeks. Reece James. Question. That's what I'm throwing him in there in terms of.
I'll let the City fans go first because there's an obvious answer for me. So I'll let the City
fans go. I know for you, John. I'm saying like for Ben and kids, like.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with that debate is obviously the classic thing said is like, well, Trent he's the best attacking, but defensively he's not so much. And then with Reece James, like he's probably he's decent attacking, not quite as good as Trent, but he's also got a bit of defending about him.
He's probably the second best.
And then who's the third one? I forgot his name.
Who cares? Cancelo.
Walker.
Kyle Walker, but then there's a third one in there.
What, Trippier?
No, yeah, someone like Trippier. But then they say, Walker and Trippier are probably the better defensive.
No, I mean for me, the question is Trent or James. Like,
I'd say Walker best defensively with Reece James second best.
I'm not saying that. I mean that the debate.
What context, guys? Sorry, just to interject. What context are we talking in? Are we talking our England lineup, or are we talking who is the better right back?
Yeah, but that's the thing is that's the same question.
No, it's not. It's not because Carl Walker can go centre back.
Lineup.
Because if we're talking that, then Carl Walker can come out of the equation because he's going to start in centre back. So then the question's between Trippier, Trent, and James.
To keep him
it depends what squad you put in.
Yeah, to keep him in the argument, we're talking best right back in the Premier League right now. As it's Christmas, let's get technical.
Right now, it's Trent.
What's going on? Sorry,
actually, this is also also what I was asking. I was saying, do you think Reece James has stepped up to the plate this season?
It's a weird one.
That was supposed to be my question.
He's been playing really well.
I try to say he's world class. Would you guys rate Reece James now higher than Mason Mount? Is my question.
There's difficult to do because of different positions. But in terms of art,
I was saying the reason
I think you'd miss
James more. Yeah, agreed.
Just because
the crazy thing is, I want to agree with you. The mental thing is, I want to completely agree with you. But having seen the last few games, I actually think we'd miss. Oh, hello. The mental thing is, I actually think we'd miss Mount more than we miss James.
You're also a Chelsea fan, though, mate. So you're bound to be a little bit deluded. A little bit.
But no, as a Chelsea fan, I'd still back Mount and James respectively. I wouldn't pick one over the other.
Only way I'd agree with your argument is if we put it into the England team context. Mount's a guaranteed starter at the minute. James isn't. So
James
that's the only way.
I'm talking like
The competition for right back at England is ridiculous.
Do you think even after this season, with the numbers Trent's putting up, it's ridiculous numbers by this point, it's ridiculous.
Oh no, I mean like they're all fighting for it, and they're all world class players.
Yeah, I think
saying Trent is probably better than he's ever been right now.
Yeah, Trent. I think Trent wins out for me, but because the quality of his delivery and
I also think Trent might have been pushed this season because of the level Reece James is trying to get.
100%, 100%, yeah. 100%.
But it's just like you would think. I mean, I don't know if maybe people might say, oh, it would compromise his attacking play, but maybe if Trent just even improved his defensive work,
which he has this season, though. He has this season. He's been better defensively. Coming from a Liverpool fan, I think I completely agreed with the judgments last year with the fact he was just a crossing merchant. This year, he's just genuinely our best chance creator. That's just how it is. We have 3 very defensive, very flat-line midfielders who fit in the positions well, which gives our wing-backs or their full-backs, but the space to be wing-backs. And then you have 2 of the best crossers on the planet putting them in, and Trent probably the best. Up for argument, but probably the best.
No, I think he easily wins that.
I'd say best crosser from the right probably is Trent.
Yeah. No, there was a thing I was watching a bit of Gary Neville's podcast, and he was talking about sort of the Spurs and Liverpool game. And it was like, so Spurs' Liverpool's best strength is they push the fullbacks forward, and they create the chances.
Yeah, we don't have since Coutinho left. We don't have an attacking midfielder. We haven't for 3 years.
Yeah,
because we've got Trent and Robertson.
Yeah, and he was saying that Conte sort of banked on that you pushing those, so he just left the 2 forwards on the centre backs because they were exposed because of that. So it's kind of
for him.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like he let you have the fullbacks up so he could expose the centre back. So it's
he took advantage of a situation. And he did it very well, but
you got very lucky as well.
There's no doubt about the fact that Harry Kane should have been sent off, and the game would be completely different. But that's by the by.
Even before that, though, they had chances to go 2-3 up.
Of course, that's by the by. Their chances didn't go. We didn't get the decision our way. That's by the by. The fact that I agree with Ben, the tactical setup showed the flaws within Liverpool. Showed that Liverpool were what City haven't shown all season, that Liverpool were a side that you could score against. If you had the right approach and the right players, and Spurs had both.
Yeah. There was the Palace game for City that sort of exposed it a little bit.
Was that Conor Gallagher by any chance?
It wasn't Conor Gallagher, it was Eze.
Was he playing?
Eze.
Yeah, Eze was the one who...
But for me, the crying example of why I think it's a 3-horse race at the minute, but I think it'll be a 1-horse in a couple of months' time. The 7-0 win against Leeds was unbelievable. It wasn't just that Leeds were shit. You guys you have this thing. You turn it up a notch.
So bear in mind the game before, we only won from a penalty in the 92nd minute. That's what's mental for Chelsea, right?
But that's what I think against with City, they win. They just win, and they.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I genuinely have very little belief that Chelsea win the Premier League this season.
Mate, they're not going to win the Premier League this season. Don't be ridiculous.
No, at the start of the season, I said Chelsea.
I said Chelsea.
That was banking on Lukaku being Golden Boot.
You don't believe that we win it. Unless we completely turn it around. There's no.
I'd always said I agree with you guys that Chelsea were the ones, but you can never ever rule out Man City with the squad they've got, with the manager they've got. It's just they're always going to be there, and if I'm honest, they're always going to be there for the next 10 years.
How massively Bernardo's steps up as well.
Yeah, Bernardo is just incredible. And then if the rumours are true, which I really hope they're not, because he's my favourite player in the world.
Win his wage.
No, Erling Haaland coming to City for 63 million.
No, we've got the Ferran Torres though now. So,
that's a conversation for you Blue podcast guys to have another day. Yeah. But Erling Haaland is just I'll let you Blue podcast guys have that another day. But that's a conversation. That's a 40-minute conversation on its own.
That is a whole conversation to itself.
I do think I'd like the last thing I'll say is I do think Liverpool like obviously there's always the things about the squad depth and injuries, blah blah blah, and obviously like you say, Spurs like sort of exposed it, but it wasn't like people know that you push your fullbacks further up. It's just that Conte was clever about it. I think that's what the difference was. He was like, oh right, I can do something here. So
I agree with you. I think the difference is this year is I think we're slightly stronger than last year.
Yeah.
There's only been 2 teams to expose us in that way, and that's Spurs and Brentford, if I'm honest.
We exposed you all first half.
Yeah, but also you also cheated the whole game, so we'll.
Well, no, yeah, James did handball the ball on the line, but before that.
But anyway, Tom, that's another chat. So
that's another chat for itself. Anyway, speaking of smart and tricky, out of these 3 players, who's most likely to dive? We'll also do out of us 4 afterwards. That was what I changed earlier in the podcast.
I'm sorry, Tom. I took this on my leg. But this is the who would most likely. Let's turn this into a whole conversation. I'm very sorry. I apologise.
It's fine, mate. It's fine.
Anyway.
That's the whole point.
What's this question?
It's the football, man.
Point.
It went to my head.
This is the Christmas special where we bring in the who's most likely to. We bring in brand new guests who want to clearly.
We go in tangents all the time.
No, apology. It's my first time on the podcast. It's my first time doing any podcast. I went on
this is a little shout out for me and Ben's last video, which was us two. Came out the day we're recording.
I watched that actually, by the way, boys, in preparation to this.
Hey.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do you leave a like?
No.
Anyway,
after this.
The video just before this came out on Thursday before Christmas, which is New Year's Eve. Actually, it just came out. Yeah, just came out. Me and Ben did a video that should have been 20 minutes, and we waffled to make it 45. So, Joe, do not worry. Waffling.
Apologies, mate. No.
I'm saying waffling is part of the podcast. Waffling is part of the podcast. Anyway, who is most likely to dive? Salah, Kane, or Zaha? I want to see answers in the chat.
Scott, I mean, we know the answer, Joe's answer, right away.
Joe's answered it as well.
He's a match winner. He's a game winner.
I will say mine as well because I hate this prick.
Kane.
Yeah, Kez gonna
I hate him. Don't get me wrong, but Salah.
The thing is though, right? The thing is though, I know Salah's a diving bastard. Salah's really bad.
Kane does it in the wrong way though.
Kane is more obvious than Salah, if that makes sense. Kane will get fake tackled and then dive like he's fucking Tom Daly. Do you know what I mean? Like he will literally.
At least Salah will take on like 3 players before he goes
and
down.
Then dive. Whereas Kane will literally dive like he's Tom Daly.
Kane's trademark is when he goes like that, he backs into it and goes,
I hate that, man.
It's when he's like someone slides in, doesn't get him or the ball, and then like his legs go together. And then he's like summoned over the player. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Salah with the overriding.
Mate, the Egyptian king, he knows how to win a game. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, not Salah. Zaha. It's not so much diving; it's more his reaction to attack.
His reaction. I like him as a player. Don't get me wrong. I think he's one of the best dribblers in the league. Every time I watch highlights or a game, he's the most infuriating player to watch. Like, I think the only player that comes close to him in like the moaning is Rashford. If you watch a Rashford game, he's always in the ref's ear. It's the same thing.
Right.
But that's a different. Yeah, go on.
Okay. And then basically the same question is out of us 4, who's most likely to dive?
Yeah, I don't know who Kieran's going to put. He just said that because I said it.
So
he's quite bad as well.
I went for Ben. Joe went for Ben. Kieran went for Joe, and then Ben went for himself. So overriding result there is unfortunately Ben.
Hey, it's Ben. Ben, it's the curse of being a good winger, mate.
It is.
It's the curse.
Just like Salah,
Joe,
I know how to win.
Ben does the rolling about as well.
Oh right. At least when I dive, I just throw my arms out, then I'm up again. That's what it is.
No, our manager at Stockport didn't like him because he went down too easy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like the manager either, so I was like,
oh, do it more then. Do the Suarez against Everton.
Beef. Didn't get
Tom, there was that massive challenge by Anthony on me in training the other day. I'm not happy with that one. Cam didn't call it. Oh, you must remember the challenge. No. I went down the wing. Anthony wiped me out, mate. Massive challenge.
But I swear it was Reece. Was it Reece on Connolly?
Oh no. We've had some bad. I was talking about my fat dive on Anthony in training.
Cam was the ref on the sideline, and then went, "No, that's a dive."
Yeah, but he was slightly convinced. Yeah, I'll take it.
But no, yeah, Reece about 3 weeks before end of term.
Oh, we've had some challenges in our training, mate. We've had some studs up things.
I mean, also we've had a calling out Costa right now. We're calling out Costa.
We don't need to call out Costa. They're in the dust, mate.
For swinging at Pat.
Oh yeah, true. But they're in the dust, mate. When you beat someone 7-0, they're in the dust.
We were 7-0 up at the time. Only team. Joe, what are we? Only team unbeaten this season.
Don't say that, mate. Don't say that. We got a lot.
I do because I
move on.
Anyway, who is most likely to be megged? Thiago Silva, Diaz, Maguire, and Dyer.
Oh, the last two's made that difficult.
I know that was the point.
I'm gonna just because I fucking hate him.
I think everyone can guess who Joe voted for there, because I voted for the same person.
He is a repulsive man.
He is.
Nothing gets the blood boiling like that.
He just is a Sunday League player.
Yeah.
See Van der Vaart always is like he it takes a piss out of
Van der Vaart every punditry session.
Yeah, he's like
him.
He's like he must laugh when he goes over and says, I make 200k a week, 100k a week, I'm shit. They think I'm good.
Like, honestly, you join any Sunday League team, you've got Darren at the back who hits a better header. Like it's just headers. That's all he's got to his game. Headers. That's it.
Yeah.
So if you couldn't tell, everyone but Kieran voted for Slabhead. Kieran voted for.
Oh no, I just done that too.
I was close with Aaron
Dyer. Dyer's pretty close.
Yeah, Dyer.
I also
he's
don't like him
as well.
Yeah,
also
Dyer
don't
is
like
also
him, but
awful.
just Maguire's.
Dyer.
He's just more. Just his name angers me, man. Just his name.
I mean, Dyer is pretty dire.
Woo.
And on that note,
moving on.
Kieran Neves. All right,
and on that bombshell.
The next few are about us four. I've made it more fun. Let's say it's about us.
Ooh, it's Christmas.
Who is most likely to be a drama queen?
I mean, I'll back it. Actually, no.
Oh, you bastards. All right, so I voted for Joe, Kieran voted for Joe voted for me, and Ben voted for me. So it's a tie.
Ben, you saved me there. Thank you.
Actually, I don't, because I'm not in the know. Like, what are the stories? Like,
it's a whitewash. It was a whitewash before I put Tom. Is what I'm saying.
What this like? There's obviously something. There's something.
No, nothing will repeat on the podcast.
Oh, I see. Maybe should I change it?
No.
All right. Who's most likely to stay in on the weekend?
Stay in on the weekend.
Oh.
Right now.
Oh, that's close.
Ooh, okay. So I voted for Ben. Ben voted for himself. Joe voted for Kieran. And Kieran voted for Ben. Any reasoning behind that? I know what mine is because Ben doesn't drink.
I didn't know. I don't know much about Ben. I just know that since Kieran's been home, he's been working A lot.
grafting.
He's been grafting.
Yeah, during the week, and then I go back
Yeah,
home.
I didn't know about your.
You haven't heard about his weekends yet.
I didn't hear about your Mancunian habits. I didn't hear about going into Manchester City Centre and partying the night away. Never heard about that, mate. All I heard was you telling me you're working 40-hour weeks. So I thought, he's going to be too tired to party at that point.
No.
To be fair, the past 2 weeks, I've been going home and doing shifts at home as well.
There you go, mate. That's all I've heard, anyway.
But
if you're still the fiction Kieran that I know, then there you go.
Before we get into that, because that's not for a podcast. If anything, that's almost for its own podcast to itself, the fiction Kieran. Who's most likely to be scared of a horror film? Oh, well, that was easy. So Joe put me, Kieran put me, Ben put me, and I put myself.
Jeez.
Anyway,
So, next question.
Next question. Who's most likely to be scared of clowns?
I mean,
oh, come on. I'm scared of clowns. You bastards. All right, well, Kieran put me, Joe put me, I put Ben, Ben put me. I'm not... Oh, God. This is going to...
They are a little bit creepy, mate. Come on.
No, Tom's hard, you see. Like,
but clowns don't scare me. It's just like scary movies. Like, I watched it too. Didn't care. It's a clown. Who cares?
Sorry, Tom. Sorry.
Anyway. I'm joking. I'm not the FIA.
Well, you just used that was evidence right there.
Oh, it was evidence of the FIA. Yeah.
I can collect that's
one lap of racing there, boys. That's all it was.
We only need one lap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One race.
Yeah, on that note, do check out our last podcast. The zero person that has watched to 1 hour and 51 minutes into this podcast. Do watch the last podcast, the podcast before, where Ben has a meltdown about Hamilton, and so do I. So watch that.
Verstappen, baby.
Right.
And on that note, yeah, he's gone.
You bastard.
All right. Next question: who's most likely to get their friends in trouble?
Oh.
I'm sorry, there seems to be a theme here for me.
Oh, come on. No way. Kieran even knows it himself.
Actually, no, the last year,
I think Kieran's too loyal at the minute. When me and him went down to Fabs,
You're all right for me to say this. The amount of fights I've got him stopped.
But that was first year.
It was first and second year.
Third year was you.
What about Beaujolais?
Third year?
Third year was you.
What happened on Beaujolais, boys?
I didn't get kicked out.
That wasn't me, and no one.
None of
my mates was there.
I was busy, actually.
Yeah, you were, and I don't want to hear any more about that. You can move on to the next question because you've told everyone. So why tell the next people who listen? Go on, move on.
I was busy, wasn't I, boys? I was busy doing something else.
But yeah, as Joe was saying, I was looking after everyone at Fabs.
Yeah, you were, whilst Tom was also busy. But this time, you won't talk about this one.
Yeah, no, I probably won't mention that one. Yeah. Anyway, next question.
In his head, rent free now.
What number was on that badge?
Definitely wasn't 18 today.
No.
Move on. We're talking about football, mate. Move on.
Bollocks.
Move on. Mate, we're talking about football. Go.
I'm gathering evidence for this corruption scandal.
I've got one.
It's a potato chip. Go on, Keith.
Who,
This was such a
who's
bad
most
idea.
likely
on the
to
podcast.
regret the night out?
Who's most likely to regret a night out? We all voted me. Anyway, moving on. Who's most likely to shout Sue?
Out of us.
It can't be Ben. He's a City fan.
You've said it more than me on the podcast.
Okay, well then it was me.
Tom, I can see a few Reds boys saying it after a goal.
Like Reese.
I can see
Ali.
Reese, Ankit, Ali. Oh, Ali would love a Sue.
Anthony as well.
After a goal.
He's an Exeter fan that supports United.
Yeah. No, that. Yeah,
I can't imagine Anthony doing it.
No, yeah, I could see it. I mean, to be fair, he did score an absolutely
I imagine him being the one that doesn't celebrate.
I mean, none of us really do.
No, I mean, none of us really do. It's more the subs. It's more the subs. Whoever's the substitutes go ballistic. Whoever it is. Whoever. Anyway, this was given to me by Conor. Who's most likely to miss a stream?
Me.
Yeah.
I don't do him.
I never miss a stream. What are you talking about?
Actually, no, that's true. To be fair, yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
You're
You're more likely to just turn up late, an hour late.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not. I don't think it counts as missing anymore.
No, it doesn't.
I just don't do it.
Yeah. Wee time. Jeez. Chat shit. All right, it's me and you. Sick. Oh no, it's not. All right, it's just me. Sick.
You just leave. Well, that was our wee break. I'm sure that was really entertaining for everyone.
You'll notice it when you watch it back.
I'm
Ben
watching
goes,
this back,
So it's just me and Kiz, and I leave.
Yeah.
But he looks away and then looks back.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
And then it's just like, I have to go. I just go up.
Yeah, but Ben, as you know, the co-host of the channel, you should be able to speak for yourself.
Oh no, I don't waffle by myself.
Oh.
Considering we're 2 hours in, boys, there's probably a lack of topics anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we've still got 1, 2, 3, 4.
We'll razz through these. And it'll be fine.
For the
Go on, then.
How
three
long-
listeners remaining, which will be me, Kieran, and Ben.
No,
It'll be you. It'll be just you.
Yeah.
It'll be you and me.
Who's least likely to get benched?
Anyway,
come on,
who's most likely to not handle their drink?
Who's what? Most likely.
Not handle their drink.
Go with the majority. I don't. I have no info to do with this.
But then again, I've heard, Ben, you don't drink, so maybe this is it's different. It's different.
I mean-
conversation.
Yeah.
In high school, at one of the house parties, yeah, it was bad. But other than that, no.
I was the only person to not vote for Joe.
You gotta go with the majority. It's tactics.
I know.
Joe gets touchy-feely.
Oh, I see.
Hang on, sorry. I'm trying to find out the
Lovey-dovey.
the length of our Christmas special. It was 2 hours and 51 minutes last year.
Jesus.
I didn't realize how long it was.
3 hours.
2 hours and 51 minutes.
Well, this was not going to be that anyway.
No, it's not.
Who's most likely to do the slowest pint? Ben's got the deciding vote. Oh,
that's a joke.
Joe has got the slowest pint.
I've got
I'm not even that bad when I get going.
I voted you just for
Tom,
fun.
I'm surprised you went against me.
Oh no, it's definitely Ben. I just voted for Joe for fun.
Cheers, guys.
I'm surprised you didn't say me though.
No, because you're faster than Joe, which is mental.
You're no.
No, Kieran is.
I don't know.
No, a pint. Like I drink lager.
Well, on that note,
Yeah, so do I.
who's most likely to do the fastest pint?
Mate, you've just done that for an ego rub.
I haven't.
There's only one reason you've done that.
Never.
Yay, I've won a
Isn't-
round.
isn't,
I'm also the main host of the Blue podcast.
in Cam, like the fastest.
Oh, yeah. No, Cam is, but if we're talking about who's here.
Yeah. Can we spell Cam?
Cameron's even said I'm faster than him at a pint.
Tom, come on.
He's beat you once or twice.
Yeah, but at a very rare occasion. Very rare.
But I am also told that he is better with his drink than you.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
the best
That's
in the group.
That's a lie, because last time we went out on a Wednesday, he had to go home early. I didn't, and I drank more than him. So that's a lie.
No, Cam's the best at handling.
Let's go in percentages. Is that's 1 out of however many likes. So percentages wise, he smashes
Last
you.
night, when we ate the same amount of food, I could hack my drink more than
That's
him.
one. Yeah, that's one night though. How many other nights have you been out and he's been better than you?
To be fair, now Wednesday.
Every other night.
No. Me and Cam have a weekly Thursday call every Thursday morning where we talk about Wednesday night. And we've both been as bad as each other. Anyway, I won that one. Who's most likely to fall over drunk?
With the majority. As he says, he can handle his drink, but you know.
Tom, you're a bit of a tumbler.
I mean, I've currently got a fractured shoulder, elbow. So
I don't care that you broke your elbow.
no, it's like I fractured my elbow from falling over drunk. I'm not even
And
kidding.
you still try to fuck me.
I've literally cracked my elbow currently from falling over drunk in fiction.
How can you fall over in fiction? Like, genuinely?
From the smoking area. I wasn't smoking. I was just walking down from there from the chat.
Okay.
All right, so we'll go through the who's most likely to, and then we'll wrap it up. Who's most likely to? That wasn't the first question. The first question was who's more overrated. We said Madison out of Saka, Mount, Smith Rowe, Madison. Who's most likely to dive out of Salah, Kane, Zaha? We picked Salah, and out of us four, we picked Ben. Next up, we had who's most likely to be megged out of Thiago Silva, Diaz, Maguire, Dyer. It was
Who's most likely to be megged out of us?
Ooh.
I don't think that at the time.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Next question. Who's most likely to be a drama queen? It was a joint with two votes. Was me and Joe. Who's most likely to stay in on the weekend? Was Benjamin. Who's most likely to be scared of a horror film? Was me by 4 votes. Who's most likely to be scared of a clown? Was also me. Who's most likely to get their friends in trouble? Was a joint of 2 votes each for me and Kiz. Who's most likely to shout "Sue"? Was me. Who's most likely to miss a stream? Is Kieran. Who's most likely to be that was already happened. Who's most likely to not handle their drink? Is Joe. Who's most likely to do the slowest pint? Was Joe, but that was just because I was having fun. Who's most likely to do the fastest pint? Is me. And who's most likely to fall over drunk? is also me.
There seems to be a theme there.
I mean, I got one.
You're a pisshead.
Yeah. It's a through line there between those questions.
Well, yeah, but we literally agreed. If it's not going to be
Hey,
Jack,
Tom, what are you drinking?
I'm currently not drinking anything, actually. I'm out of drinks.
Loser.
That might have been
He's out of drinks,
a little bit of a fun time looking at each other and then downing our drinks at the same time. I could tell you could see me open my drink, and then I was like, and then you.
There's a couple of times I was gonna audibly laugh, and I had to just like stare at whoever was talking to try and like make it more serious. Someone was always like, it was either Ben, Kieran, or Connor were always in like a very sensible conversation.
It was Ben at the time. I was downing it. It was Ben speaking at the time.
I could see it happening. I
was starting to laugh, I had to just stare at whoever was like,
do I stop and let this be the main bit, or do I just carry on? And I was like, I don't really know.
I'm glad you carried on, because I genuinely have audibly laughed and would have ruined everything. Yeah.
No. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Merry Christmas. Obviously, this will currently, if you're watching it from the start, this will be 8:05 at night when you hear this. If you watch it from 6 p.m. But yeah, Merry Christmas from all of us at the Blue Podcast. I hope you guys had a good time. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. This is one of our longest podcasts ever. So you're welcome, Joe. And yeah, obviously by this evening when you're watching this, if we hit 900 subs, I'll sing a Christmas song which Ben picks. Yeah.
It'll be the Ariana Grande one as well. So, you know.
No, DMX.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. And yeah, we'll see you on Thursday. Me and Ben will see you on Thursday for another video. Good.